Greetings, citizens. I'm Space Ghost. What do you get when you cross a zombie with a raven? A very dead bird.
Yes, sir. Dead as a doornail. That is what you get. Yeah.
Who's the geezer?
Also visiting tonight is my granddad, all the way from Boca Raton.
Sunshine State. Oh, yeah.
Sounds like Randy Savage.
Well, it's not, Zorak. It's my granddad, okay? So you can just shut up about that, Zorak.
Oh, yeah. You tell him, Daddy.
Well, it looks like you with a pasted-on beard.
It's not, Zorak, okay? Those are real hairs. I can see them from here.
Who's that little runt over there? Is that Blip?
No, Grandpa, that's Zorak.
How you doing, Blip? I need to start you out with some chin-ups.
Stay away from me, old fool.
Who's that red-headed fella over there?
That's Moltar, my director.
Moltar from the ovens of Moltor. I met your father once in a steel cage match. I wish you could have seen your old man weeping like a woman after my patented pile driver. Yeah, your dad remembers me. Ooh, yeah.
Well, he whooped up on you pretty good in the Texas death match.
Because he snuck up behind me with a foreign object. He should have been disqualified.
Hey, if the ref didn't see it, it didn't happen.
Break it up, you two. It's time for my first guest.
Oh, yeah, talk show. Go for it.
My first guest tonight
Be over here if you need me.
is Rob Zombie of the band
Won't say a word.
White Zombie. Welcome, Mr. Zombie.
Thank you, Mr. Ghost.
So I hear you're a zombie. That must really be something.
It's not a whole lot to being an undead guy.
I hear you zombies like to eat people.
Wake up in the morning, have my Cheerios, go back to bed. You don't get to do much.
Except eat people.
It's not true.
Oh, it's true, all right. My grandpa just said so.
Look, if I said it wasn't true the first time, it's not true the second time, buddy.
Hey there, cannibal. That's my grandson you're talking to.
You tell him, Pappy.
Shut it, Blip.
It's Zorak, you crusty. Gozar of the Tiny Hut people, now is the time for your weekly meeting.
Say, you, Saucy Crab?
See you next Thursday.
You following me, Space Boy?
Who you calling boy?
Yeah, that's right. Muscle Boy.
Show him your awesome deltoids, Tadville.
Like this, Grandpa?
Flex it out for spaceman.
Are they inflatable? They look fake.
Tag out, Taddy. I want to taste some zombie meat.
Please, Grandpa, I can handle this myself.
You're a sad, pathetic man.
Tag out. I'll rip his face off.
Grandpa, please. I can manage this situation in a civil and
Talk. Is that all you're good for?
Well, I...
Gabbity gab, just like your mother.
Hey, let's leave
What kind
Mom.
of superhero are you? Isn't there a planet out there that needs your help or something?
Sure,
You
but...
got 3 seconds to get out of here before I break out the atomic elbow, brother. 1.
Okay, Zombie. Looks like Grandpa's taking over.
Knock that little freak silly.
Time to step into the squared circle, son.
I'm here. Make your move.
Welcome to Leonard Coastal's Twilight Zone. Yeah.
You're dead. Nobody wants you anymore. Your time's up.
No, your time's up. Dig, nabbit.
You're shooting blanks, Grandpa.
Shut your pie hole, Blip. Like 20 years ago, I would have put your head in a half Nelson, twisted it around, saying each letter of the alphabet on every turn, and when I reached the first letter of my true love's name, that would be the lovely Elizabeth, I would yank your head clean off and roll it down the pike like a bowling ball.
Okay.
All right, here we go. What are we doing? And that's how I captured the world television title during Clash of the Cosmos 4 in front of our...
You're on, old timer.
Don't crowd me, Ringo.
It's time for the next guest.
Where is she? Is she invisible?
Look at the monitor.
The what's it?
Look at the TV on your right.
Ooh, hey there, little girl. What's your name?
Well, I'm Raven Simone, and I'm 10 years old. I was on Hanging with Mr. Cooper of the Cosby Show.
Did you know that you're on the TV?
Yes, just like you.
Have you met any famous people on the TV?
Stop yelling. She can
I've
hear
met
you.
Whitney Houston. I've met Michael Jackson.
Have you met Haystack Calhoun? He was a mountain of a man. I sent him home to mommy with a rolling DDT. How about Gorgeous George? Chief Wahoo McDaniel, Sleeping Lanny, Wildfire Tommy Rich. They all fell victim to my dreaded Purple Nurple Jerry Belly. Oh, yeah. You still with me?
Well, the Mind Taker, it seems that you have me tied up.
Yeah, I can, do all sorts of stuff. I can bend my pinky back, and
Don't you raise a hand to me, Missy. I'll put you in a figure 4 leg lock.
I haven't done anything bad yet.
Except for this show.
Shut up, Flip, or I'll slam your head so far down between your shoulder blades, you'll have to open that vest to face your own anguish as I hold a mirror up to your midsection. Yeah! You ever get the thrill of slinging one of your little school chums against the mat and watching their eyes roll back in their head like they're some kind of little freak?
No, not really. I try to be, nice to people.
You don't know what you're missing, little missy. The backbreaker.
What's this?
Yeah.
Zorak has picked up a folding chair. Seems to be making his way to Death's side. I tell you, you don't want someone coming at you with one of those things. You can do some serious damage.
Ice lock in half for me.
I want to take this time to apologize to the television audience for what they're about to see. Oh! Let's not forget that Leonard Ghostal is retired, and that act of violence was very extreme.
Yeah, you had it coming, Ghosto.
Grandpa, what happened?
He fell down.
Because of an accident that happened.
That made him fall down.
Is that you, Thaddeus?
Are you all right? Talk to me, Grandpa. Say something.
Your pet monkey hit me with a folding chair.
Hold it. The Cosby Kid made me do it.
Begone, wicked girl child, if television's hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Good shot. She was asking for it. It's about time you did something about her.
Reversal! Taste the pain!
What can I do for you?
Space Ghost, please.
You Space Ghost, there's a saucer crab out here to see you.
I wish to give him the beating of his life.
Tell him I'm not here.
What?
He says he's not here.
Come outside, sibling coward. Now is the time for your weekly beating.
Beating?
Shh, Grandpa, be quiet and maybe he'll go away.
Punk him out, Tadley!
He has a death ray.
Well, if you're not gonna do it, then I will. I'm calling you out, crab.
You go ahead, Grandpa. I'll take care of things here.
I'll show you what you get when you go mano-a-mano with the Gray Ghost. What? Using a tractor beam on an old man, eh?
Silence, old man.
It's okay, Les. I think we're out of range.
Was that too much?
No. You were great. Thanks for the rescue, man.
Don't mention it.
Who's next on the beating list?
Earthling Mary Hart.
Finally, some entertainment tonight.
This is On the Network.
Welcome back to On the Network, everybody. I am Rich, and with me, as always, is Tyler David. Tyler, how are you doing tonight?
Hello. My back's killing me, and I just got done cleaning up my child's vomit. So, better than usual.
Nice. Well, at least,
How about yourself?
Well, at least there's not like a cat pissing everywhere, too, so it's like, it's an improvement.
Yeah.
It's an improvement.
My life is significantly better now that I got rid of the cat.
Oh, dude, I've had just a shitty-ass week. Shitty. Earlier in the week, my computer just crashed on me. Like, Windows 7 was just like, nope, I'm not working anymore. Like, I just woke up one morning and, like, tried to turn on my computer, and nothing came up. So, they gave me a chance to back up my files. I was like, yeah, let's back up my files to the most current possible thing I can do. And it was 183 gigs of stuff that I had to back up. And they're like, oh, your, temporary folder is not big enough. I'm like, oh, okay. So I plug in my external hard drive. My external hard drive has like 250 plus gigs free on it. Last time I knew, 183 definitely fits into 250. So then after that, it would not transfer. Like, it would not let me select that, option. It was there, it just would not let me select it.
Oh.
So I couldn't, I just could not do it. So that kind of really pissed me off. So I had to reboot, or reset my whole Windows system, and I lost everything I had that was on my computer. Which, I mean, really, it wasn't that much stuff. It was just like a couple pictures, but it wasn't like family pictures or anything. It was just like a couple like random ass pictures that I had, and most of the stuff for this podcast just vanished in the blink of an eye. A very teary eye at that.
A lot of stuff you put a lot of time into, and now you're gonna have to redo. Oh, that fucking sucks.
Yeah, it really does. And then, so I rebooted it, like, I got Windows 7 back, and I was like, wait, why the hell am I going to install Windows 7? Well, rather keep Windows 7, because that was my only option to install. But I was like, why am I going to keep Windows 7 when Windows 10 just came out? Might as well get that while, everything's fresh. So I just downloaded Windows 10, and it's really not as bad as I thought it would be. And it hasn't, shit out on me.
It was free,
Windows
right?
7. Yeah, it was free. Yeah, so I mean, it wasn't bad, but just such a shitty experience. And I'm really bad about backing stuff up, too. Like, horrible about it. Because I was going to check a hard drive I have I know I backed stuff up on. But it would not have made a difference, because I think the last time I backed stuff up on was, like, this time last year.
Yeah. Well, if you have kids, you'll know that you have to back everything up, because God forbid I lose those photos of those kids. My wife will straight up murder me in my sleep.
Oh, yes. Well, that's like when you put that shit, like, on a USB drive that is only for photos. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, no, dude, you don't even understand. I got that shit backed up in like 5 places.
exactly.
She will kill me if I lose those photos.
What's going to happen if there's like an electronic pulse?
I guess I'm gonna get murdered.
It's like, you're fucked. You're just completely fucked in that scenario. It's like someone, like some terrorist or other nation or whatever, they decide to drop an EMP, and everyone in the country loses their power, and you're the one that's going to get the worst part of this, because those photos are gone.
Oh my god.
You should probably start thinking about printing these out, man.
Yeah, the worst thing is that they're never even fucking looked at. They're just sitting there.
That's because they're on like a flash drive, a couple CDs or DVDs, maybe a hard drive or two. Like, I'm pretty sure if you got like maybe like a photo album and you sat down and you printed them out one day, maybe then like you guys will probably look at it.
And you don't even know how many I have. It's like every fucking second of these kids' life is like a precious moment that needs to be captured on film. It's like, no, they're fucking running around acting crazy. You don't need a photo of that.
It's like, I don't want to remember this part. But you know what, man? In like 20 years, you're going to want to remember that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, when your kids are all grown up, getting married and stuff, you're going to want to remember them acting like, I'm trying to think of the word. I don't even know. But just acting just crazy.
What do they call it when you come from war and you have those flashbacks? Like,
God, what is that?
Fuck. Anyway, I'm gonna be fucking having some Vietnam flashbacks to these kids when they're older, if I go back to look at those photos.
Dude. Post-traumatic stress.
Oh, there you go.
Dude, talking about that, man, just to get off, on a random tangent. So, I was in a bar. This is a couple of years ago. Like a couple of like friends, like all met up. Like we all went down to Charleston, and we live in different parts of the country, and we all met up. But we were all at this bar, and my one friend was actually in the military during. I want to say he was actually stationed in Afghanistan for a little bit, and then he was stationed in Iraq, and then he came back. But we were at this bar, and this guy next to us, all night we were just kind of like annoyed by him. Like he kept bumping into us, like he was just really drunk, which is funny for us to be complaining about a really drunk person because we were really drunk. But this guy, he just kept like bumping into us, and then he knocked over his mug of beer, and it broke. I thought my friend was about to lose it. Like, it was insane. Because it was just like normal, and then like he just heard that loud sound, and like you could just tell what just happened in his head. And just the way how everything just like clicked, it was just like, oh my god. Let's go outside and smoke a cigarette, man. Let's go do this. And he's like apologizing to us. I'm like, no, I get it. Like, it's not your fault. This happens. But it was just a really, really weird moment. And yeah, it was just weird.
It's crazy what they go through over there.
Do you want to start the wrestling talk?
Sure. Let's see what we got here. Sheamus had a concussion. And yeah, he's still wrestling.
Yeah.
So I guess it wasn't that bad of a concussion. But yeah, I just thought that was funny that he got one right after giving fucking Daniel Bryan one. People are getting injured left and right though. But Ryback's back though.
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't think he's 100% though.
I have to agree. I mean, it's a staph infection, so it's not like one of those things that's going to like keep him out for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that I think I'm not going to say that he like rushed into it, because I mean, he looked healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't look like horrible or anything. He looked like Ryback, but you could tell like in his movements, either he's more cautious or his knee is still a little sore just by the way how he was moving in the ring.
Yeah, all he did was his little clothesline, and that was it. He didn't really do anything special or his little shell shock move or anything like that.
Right.
So I'm thinking, he's still injured, but he's got a couple weeks to heal up still.
Oh yeah, and all I could think about whenever they announced that match, because they announced the Ryback versus Miz versus Big Show match, all I could think about was like, I thought we got rid of this. Like I thought that was like the one good thing.
I thought they were gonna like have a tournament for the IC title or something, and I was all excited for that.
Right, or I was okay with even like Ryback defending it. Say, okay, the guy is healthy again, he can defend it, no issue at all. But I was just hoping that maybe Big Show would be pushed to the side. You know, because like they brought him out like maybe like once or twice, for a Miz spot, but it wasn't anything like of importance. It was just the Big Show was just there just to annoy Miz. And I was okay with that because he was there for like 30 seconds and then he was off my television. I'd be okay with a Miz IC championship reign actually right now. I would definitely be okay with that.
Miz is alright. I don't mind Miz as a heel.
Exactly. Like, I'm not like a huge fan of the Miz, but he's one of those guys that I have to almost respect. It's like you could tell that he's a wrestling fan first and foremost, and he has the job of his dreams. Like when you look at it like that, that's fucking amazing.
Back when he was with Sandow, he was one of the best parts of Raw.
Yeah, exactly. And while we're talking about Raw, my highlight for Raw this week was actually Miz TV. I mean, like, you know, that was like whenever Ryback came out, but the whole like Daniel Bryan thing was amazing. Because Daniel Bryan was just playing off the crowd, and The Miz was playing off the crowd, and it actually felt like a natural crowd reaction. I have not seen that on Raw in a while. You know?
Yeah, Raw this week wasn't the best. I mean, it had its moments. There wasn't too many great wrestling matches. We ended up doing our match of the night video for Owens versus Cesaro versus Orton for the chance to face Rollins later in the night, which I wish they would have just let him cash in and then Randy Orton hit the RKO. But I guess because the ref didn't turn it in fast enough or whatever, Sheamus still has the money in the bank to use. And I really am not looking forward to a Sheamus championship run. I don't know about you.
I am indifferent. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not really going to accept it either.
It's basically like the world heavyweight title doesn't even mean shit to me anymore. Honestly, it's like the U.S. title has become where the good wrestling's at nowadays.
It has, and I still have hopes for the IC title. You know, like, I just have hopes that they do something with that damn title.
There's potential if we get Neville in there in the IC title picture. Maybe he could throw a couple good matches into there here and there. Maybe bring up one or two other people, or I don't know. They just need somebody to step it up. And
I think Neville is on his way to doing something. You know what I'm saying? Like when he first came out, his gimmick was the man that gravity forgot. And you listen to it and you're just kind of like, or you see that and you're like, okay, but what's his gimmick? You know, but his whole thing with Stardust has become almost like a comic book feud.
Yeah.
Which I really think that angle is about 5 years too late. But it's there nonetheless, and it's not a horrible feud. It's not a horrible angle for either guy. Yeah. I mean, is that what I want to see Cody Rhodes doing? Not necessarily, but it's not horrible. He's selling it. He's putting matches over. You know, but
yeah.
To get back to Neville real quick, his whole character, like they're actually making him into a superhero type character, which works.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it gives him something to do because the man that gravity forgot. What the fuck does that mean?
I don't. He's got a fucking cape already, so you might as well just make him a superhero. But to talk more about Stephen Amell, a Green Arrow at SummerSlam, WWE, from what I've seen, this has been a solid move in their part. Everyone is talking about this match. Everyone that, like, all the Green Arrow fans, all the comic book fans, you know, there's a ton of people that give two shits about wrestling that are gonna be getting SummerSlam because of this match. It was definitely a smart move on their part.
Yeah.
One thing, and it does make sense. It does make sense to have Stardust do the match against him because it's basically superhero versus superhero or supervillain versus superhero, whatever you want to call it. One interesting thing that I saw the other day, and I'll read it to you here. I have it pulled up. Cody Rhodes, I guess, after his father died, it says, and here's what he wrote. I don't know if he posted this to a website or wherever, but Cody said, "A few days after we lost you, I was tasked with the unfortunate duty of going through your cell phone to find various numbers so that we can invite them to the service. And there it was, your lock screen. It was a picture. It was Stardust and a heated stare down with CW's most valuable player, Stephen the Green Arrow Amell. And then it says, finish what you start, kid." So I think this is I think Cody really wants to finish this off. I guess his dad was looking forward to this, or whatever it is. So that's, a little touching thing. He probably wants to finish this off. I have a good feeling that come Royal Rumble, we're going to see Cody Rhodes back to his old self.
That would be pretty sweet. That would actually be a perfect time to do it too. They could build him up as this crazy heel, and then he comes out as Cody Rhodes again, and he could be a face.
Even if he comes out as both characters, that'd be interesting too.
Oh no, that would be amazing. You have just sold me on the Royal Rumble, which has been really hard these past 2 years.
Who the fuck knows? They could even give him a fucking win, and I wouldn't. I would like that. I wouldn't be surprised. The guy can wrestle. They'd have plenty of time to build his character up back to his old self.
Oh yeah.
But another thing is we were talking about how the titles and how I feel the WWE title has really lost its prestige.
Right.
And here's another thing to note is that since the WWE introduced the title as is, how they merged them, I think it was late 2013, John Cena is the only person to lose the belt directly by pinfall. Every other match somebody has been screwed out of it, or they lost it some other how. So let's go through the line. I have them here. It says Randy Orton lost the title when Batista tapped to Daniel Bryan. So Randy Orton was the champion, and he lost. Didn't even lose he lost the belt, but he didn't lose the match. And then Daniel Bryan vacated the title. Blah, blah, blah. Brock Lesnar pinned John Cena for the title, so that was the only pin. And then Seth Rollins pinned Roman Reigns when Brock Lesnar was the champion. So Brock Lesnar got screwed out of it. And then Seth Rollins is going to be the champion forever now. So there hasn't been that many title changes since it came, but I feel like we're in the era of WWE having to constantly screw people over or give us those fuck finishes so that no one ever looks weak. And I really am annoyed by that.
It does, because I think I already talked about my opinions about this on the show, but I think the championship should be a clean fight. Let a heel do heel moves. Let a heel use a weapon when the ref isn't looking. Draw heat. I'm okay with that. But stop having fuck finishes for your title. It's like, how can you take something seriously when, like Raw. Raw was a perfect example of that. That was a title fight. And then they did the good old fuck finish with Sheamus trying to cash in his thing. Yeah. And I'm not sure if you noticed this. So Sheamus runs up there. He tries to give the guy a belt. Or he tries to give the ref the briefcase, not belt. He's trying to give the ref the briefcase. The ref is holding on to it, and Sheamus keeps trying to pull it back. Like, what the fuck was that? Just do it. Like, you're already there. It's like, and on top of that, you already interfered in the fight. So now Randy Orton's screwed because you just interfered, and if you're not going to give that briefcase up, you just cost him that, and you're just going to go after Rollins. And that's the last thing I want to see, is a Rollins-Sheamus feud.
Well, it was just poor acting on Sheamus's and the referee's part, which I'm not surprised. But the Money in the Bank should be the only time that you get a fuck finish for a WWE title match. The comes in and surprises them, successfully cashes in, and gets the title. That should be the only fuck finish. Other than that, I agree. the WWE title should be sacred. It should be Seth Rollins needs to man the fuck up and defend it. And the Brock Lesnar thing is another huge part of why they're doing that. The guy's built up to be unbeatable, so the only way you can keep the title off of him is by doing fuck finishes. But we already went into that a whole bunch last episode. But what else you want to talk about in the news?
Let's go for some gold. Hulk Hogan. Dude, this guy, man. Like he is apparently being accused of perjury by the National Enquirer. So the same people that like released like the whole like, you know, racist comments.
Yeah.
Because that was them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty much what it is somehow the Hulk Hogan racist tape, like sex tape or whatever, that like the FBI was involved in it, and I guess he was under oath under that. And I apologize if this is a bit inaccurate. This is more or less from memory and like the quick notes I wrote down on it. So basically, he was under oath and he told the FBI one thing, and then he was under oath in court and he said the exact opposite thing. You know, so the National Enquirer's like, wait, you just perjured yourself.
Well, see, there's a difference. And I don't think that Hulk Hogan will ever get in trouble for what he did. I mean, I don't know exactly what he said each time or what it was about, but in order to you know, successfully say this person committed perjury, you have to prove that they knowingly did it, and there is no way they will be able to do that to Hulk Hogan, because he always has the fallback of, I was in character, I'm an old ass man who, you know, is always in character, and he never knows what to say. You know what I mean? Like he can say one thing one day and another thing the other day and fully believe both scenarios, because one day he's in character, one day he's not in character. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And maybe he just forgot the scenario. Like he has to knowingly commit it. You know what I mean? Which I doubt they'll be able to prove that.
Yeah.
Does it say like what they were talking about?
So basically the story claims the court transcripts show that Hulk Hogan allegedly made conflicting statements to the FBI and in a deposition for lawyers to the lawyers for Gawker. Mm-hmm. So because the transcripts they had obtained showed that during a July 2nd hearing, Gawker attorney told the judge he had learned Hogan made statements under oath directly at odds with each other. So pretty much what it is this is being brought up in court. It's not just like the National Enquirer going, hey, look at this dirt we got on this guy. It's like a lawyer telling a judge, hey, you know, we're using official transcripts from the FBI and we're using this that he said in court. He lied somewhere in here. You know, and let's say if whatever he told the FBI was the truth, then he definitely just perjured himself, because that means that he just lied in court.
Well, I mean, you can lie in court, but doesn't mean that you're not telling the truth. Like, how do I put it? If I tell the FBI that my favorite color is red, and then I tell the court my favorite color is blue, it's you can't really prove either way.
Right. But at the same time, like, you're supposed to tell the truth?
Yeah.
I don't know, like I would call that perjury, because you are lying under oath. But let's say, like, whatever he said under oath, like, in the courtroom was not the lie, and whatever he told the FBI was, then it would be a completely different scenario.
Well, I mean, by the very definition of perjury, yes, it was perjury. He said two different things. But will he get in trouble for perjury? Probably not, because they have to prove he knew he was under oath both occasions, which he might not have with the FBI. In court, most likely he knew, but maybe not with the FBI. And then they also have to prove he purposely told a lie, which if he thought the scenario was one way and then, over the course of time he rethought things and then said a different story because he thought a different way was real, then he's fine there. You have to know, it's very hard to prove, especially when you have someone, like I was saying, who's a professional wrestler who is he in character, is he not in character, stuff like that. You're dealing with someone basically has multiple personalities, so there's no way to prove that Hulk Hogan, the non-wrestling personality, is the same one that said both things in court, in FBI, and that he knew he was under oath in both situations, which there's no way they're going to prove that.
Do you really think his lawyers would try to use the multiple personality defense, though?
It's proven, though. It's proven. He talked one way in the sex tape, and then when he's in the public's eye, he talks a different way as Hulk Hogan. So who's to say if he was in Hulk Hogan personality with the FBI, and he wasn't in the court? You know what I mean?
Right. But
so I think they're gonna do whatever, they're gonna say whatever they have to get him off.
Yeah.
But I doubt they'll even bring it up. They'll probably just be like, whatever, we're gonna go with whatever you said in court or something like that, probably.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just interesting just to it just feels weird just watching Hulk Hogan just fall into this weird dark circle, I guess. And it's something that I feel like he brought upon himself, 100%. You know what I'm saying? He pretty much did this to himself.
He is digging himself into a hole more and more.
Yeah, exactly. It's like all this stuff that comes out, it's like, dude, this is all stuff that you said. It's am I saying that it was right for him to be recorded at his house? No, but he had to have known what was on those tapes.
Oh,
And, you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Come on. And the second that he put that lawsuit there, that tape is now evidence. So it's like...
He was fully aware, and he wasn't saying... He could have easily went to WWE and told them, hey, in a few months, this thing's coming out. You should probably not have me on Tough Enough, or whatever. Should distance ourselves a little bit until this is all over. But no, he let it slide out, and then it became a huge deal.
Right.
He should have got in front of it and said, hey, America, there's these videos gonna come out of me. I'm sorry for it. I said some things that I didn't really believe at the time, or blah, blah, blah. And he probably could have got ahead of it. Or spun the story but instead he let it get leaked, and then there was nothing he could do after that.
Right. That crazy guy. Crazy Hogan. Let's see. Do you have anything else in the news?
How about hashtag Netflix needs Lucha?
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's something I am a huge, huge supporter of, that right there. We talked a little bit about Ultima Lucha last week. I didn't go into depth with it because you haven't watched it. So it's really hard for me to talk about that where I'm really excited, but I can't go into full detail just because I don't want to ruin that experience for you pretty much. Because I think once you do get the time to sit down and watch it, you're just going to be like, holy shit, this is amazing.
Yeah, I definitely do want to get the time and sit down and watch it because everything I've heard is it really does take wrestling to the next level.
Yeah, so basically though, with Lucha Underground, they're saying that there's going to be a season 2. At the end of Ultima Lucha, it said to be continued. That's not really spoiling anything for you. Just a screen that just says "to be continued." But with that being said, one of the producers of Lucha Underground did an AMA on Reddit in the Squared Circle subreddit, and he was like, "Yeah, we're all about it. We're ready to go. We just need money for it." So from there, I don't really remember where the Netflix Needs Lucha came from. I want to say that was probably from another producer. But from there, like, it just spun out into this huge Twitter hashtag and a hashtag on Facebook as well. Like, you'll just see random people just post stuff like, Netflix needs Lucha, and I really think it does.
I mean, I think it would be very convenient to get it on there because, I mean, I would have to go looking for it. I think you said it was on YouTube, but just the convenience of having it all in one place on Netflix would really make it more watchable for me and I'm sure millions of others, and get them a whole new audience.
Exactly. And how can you go wrong with so in Lucha Underground, the promoter or the manager of this place, Dario Cueto, he is actually an actor, right? Like, I don't think, like, I'm not sure if they're using his real name or not. I've never really looked into it, but the guy is an actor, and I'm going to find this here. I know it's on this page I'm on. Okay, so Dario Cueto, like, leading up to Ultima Lucha, he just did, like, a string of tweets. And this is the way how you promote something. So it starts off with, "If you cannot sleep tonight, I do not blame you." Hashtag Ultima Lucha, hashtag Lucha Underground. He has that on all of them, so I'm not going to say the hashtags on the rest. And then he goes on to say, it's like, "If you're sipping some tequila in anticipation on Tuesday night, I do not blame you. If you're even hanging up Christmas decorations around your house as we speak, I do not blame you." I don't know where that came from. I don't understand that one. But, like, I'm like, okay, like, at the same time I'm reading this, I'm like, dude, you grabbed my attention. And then the next one is, "If you're shuddering because for 2 hours, time, space, and reality will lose all meaning, I do not blame you. And then, if you are filled with a lust for violence, I do not blame you." like that's all he tweeted, just like in one night. He just, sent like these like random ass tweets, and they're all just like, promoting this event, the Ultima Lucha event. And I was just like, if I did not already see Ultima Lucha and all I saw were those tweets, I would want to see what the hell he's talking about. Like, he sold it so well. And just Dario Cueto, like, in the actual show, he will throw some crazy shit out there. And he'll just be like, "Okay, ring the bell," after he makes this crazy fight that should not be happening, just because he doesn't like the way how the outcome of another fight went. He'll just be like, "Okay, so you guys won? Well, I don't like that." And then he brings out like the guys that he wants to win, and he's like, "Ring the bell," and these, like, you just see the faces on these wrestlers, just like, what? Like, those guys sell it so good, and it's amazing. Amazing. Just Dario Cueto. This Wednesday, I really felt kind of lost. I was like, well, normally Lucha Underground, and it's not there. So with the Netflix Needs Lucha thing, it's trying to get Netflix's attention, and I really have a feeling that if it does come back, it will probably be like February 2016. I don't think it'll be really any sooner than that. But
has there been any news about Netflix actually talking with them or acknowledging any of this?
I think like in the AMA, the producer guys said that, like, they're open to like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon. I'm not sure if he actually said, I can't remember if he actually said, we're talking right now. But I'm imagining that whoever runs Netflix page is probably like, well, shit. what is going on here? Why do all these crazy people keep putting Netflix needs lucha? It's like, what is lucha? Next thing you know, we're all going to get that Jack Black movie.
Oh yeah.
But like, no.
Oh, and then Netflix be like, "Hey, we gave you guys what you wanted."
Yeah. Oh my God, that would be my luck. Like, no, wrong lucha, abort Netflix, abort. Like, no one watches it. There's like, but we had all these people want it.
Or everyone does watch it, and they're like, "Yeah."
So to move on to some other news here. Roddy Piper's funeral was this week. I think it was this week.
Yeah, I think so. Not sure.
Yeah. I'm really happy, like, I haven't seen pictures like I did for Dusty Rhodes' funeral.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's really good. But, so, at the funeral, not he as in Roddy Piper, oh, Jesus. At the funeral, I guess Triple H was there, that makes sense, and China was there. And Sean X-Pac Waltman, so good old X-Pac was there. And X-Pac sent out some tweets.
It sounds like a recipe for disaster, if I ever saw one.
Right. So a fan went on Twitter and they tweeted X-Pac and they were like, "Hey, China at Roddy Piper's funeral. Did she ever work with him? Reeks of opportunism to be around HHH or Triple H." You know, and X-Pac responded with, you know, she may have met him a few times, and you're exactly right. She bum rushed Hunter and said sorry for everything. And he's like, this is pathetic. And that, normally I like look at X-Pac and I'm like, okay, dude, you're like the sort of normal nice guy. And I get that he has issues with China just from, you know, the past. So then Waltman tweeted out, and this was also deleted. He said, "I wasn't going to mention China crashing Roddy's funeral, but I guess people already know. Sorry for everything. I guess she was the victim, or I thought she was the victim." And then he deleted that. And then he goes on to say, you know, "I was informed by a reliable source that she didn't crash the funeral. She was apparently invited, and I have to correct myself. I apologize for using the term crash. She was very close to being taken down by security, whether she knows it or not, after the threats and lies she's told about him." Now that part, I'm not sure how accurate that is. So, this woman is invited to a funeral. You know, and I just have this weird feeling that she probably said hi to Triple H.
Yeah.
You know, she might have said something to him. But I don't think security was like, are we getting her out now? Are we doing this? You know, so...
Yeah.
Unless Triple H has bodyguards. Maybe
I wouldn't doubt.
But how awkward would it be for Triple H to be at a funeral with bodyguards around wrestlers and family and friends of a wrestler? You know, like I feel like that would almost be in a morbid way.
And he would need bodyguards to protect him from China, you know?
Right. Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense. So, I'm not sure how much I can put stock into X-Pac regarding this. You know, so that was something interesting, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I had a lot more news ready to go, and it disappeared with my Windows 7. Do you have anything else?
That's about it. For me, we can get into our reviews.
All right. Well, we're going to do something a little different here this week. Normally this would be the time that we would probably play, Virgil. Because Virgil, I'm sorry, I laugh every time I hear him just say random shit. But, obviously my computer did what it did. I no longer have those ready to go. So instead we're going to play this new segment called Ask Joe. Remember everyone, please tweet or even go on Facebook and use the hashtag AskJoeOTN as in on the network. Just use the hashtag Ask Joe any kind of question you want. Wrestling would be great, but it doesn't necessarily have to be wrestling. Just any kind of question, just throw it out there. And it'll probably get answered by Joe at some point. Like, I don't see why he wouldn't answer them. So, here's Ask Joe. And right after that, we are going to go on a short break, and we'll be back after these messages.
Another edition of Ask Joe Stuff.
I always watch WCW because they did do one smart thing. When WWE's commercials, they'd be on. I can essentially watch commercial-free wrestling. Or like when they gave away about Mick Foley winning the title and they were mocking it, and then everybody went to go watch it. Well, you know what it was? For me, I didn't believe them. I remember it, and I'm like, he's not going to win the title. I have to go see. That's what it turned into with me. I didn't believe them. I thought they were full of crap. I remember WCW did the Ready to Rumble cage match, like with that big ass cage. You know what I'm talking about? And then somebody got thrown off and almost killed him. Canyon, I think it was. He was gone for a long time. They threw him off. I'm like, you're not Mick Foley. You can't do that. Only he can get thrown off something like that and get up. You know what was funny? I was watching a thing on WWE Network, and they were talking about WCW having a hardcore title. I don't remember that. And I watched it. I don't remember a hardcore title. Or a women's title, for that matter. I don't remember neither one. They showed what the title looked like, and I was like, I don't remember that. Like, I didn't even remember seeing it. They must have televised it so little. But my reason for watching them was because I liked watching all the vintage guys. Because I started watching wrestling a little later, like 97. Which is late for those guys, like the Hogans and Savages. So I wanted to see them. Luger, all them guys. That's why I watched it. WWE was always a big company once Vince McMahon bought all the territories or whatever he did and made it big. I mean, even now, even though, in fact, a lot of people say, but I guarantee you if they got an offer, they would go. Everybody wants to work for WWE because it's a big company. They could talk smack like, oh, I don't want to work for, oh, you would. Because they're going to pay you more. Like, you're probably not going to get treated better, but, well, a little better in the sense of your pay. You know, it's not like a shady fly-by-night company. So you get your money, but don't talk smack like you wouldn't go. You know damn well if they called you, you'd be like, yep, coming. Don't lie. I mean, I'm sure there's a few people out there who wouldn't do it, but most people are going to be like, all right, I'll put up with the politics to do it. Like, come on now. Don't talk like you go. You go. And now that Tyson Kidd injury ended up being the best thing for Cesaro because now they're giving him the push he should have been getting a long-ass time ago. And as a face, he had all that momentum. They're so dumb. He had all that momentum as a face for a while there. And then they put him with Heyman and turned him heel. How stupid are you? He had so much momentum. And then now they're essentially going back to what they should have been doing all that time ago. And no, you didn't connect. He was connecting. How can you say that he didn't connect? He was connecting. And then you cut him off at the knees. Like, what's your problem? And then Tyson Kidd getting hurt. Now they're like, well, great. Now what are we going to do with him? All right, let's push him and see what happens. And now he's getting over. That's stupid. That should have been done a long time ago. I just think they have so much talent that they don't use. It's crazy. Like, they finally did, like, they're starting to use the Divas, which is good, like the NXT ones. And then, but the NXT wrestlers, other than like Seth Rollins and Reigns, they don't really get used that, like, for main event consideration. And even Reigns isn't technically a main eventer anyways right now. He had it, and apparently, no one liked it. So they pushed him back down, and then now he's starting to get momentum to go back. But Seth Rollins is the only one. If they would have put other people, like, I don't know. I just think that they have so much talent that they could be using. Like, how is Bray Wyatt not in the main event scene? How is he not
How is he not competing for a title of any kind? How does that happen? I'm not saying that the feud with Reigns is bad. It's actually good for both of them. How is there not a title involved in that? I don't understand. How does that happen? Cesaro versus Kevin Owens for the U.S. title. That would have been good. No, instead we get Cena versus Rollins, title versus title. Now you just wasted the U.S. title because now it's in that match. You could have had another match out of it. You could have had the Cesaro and Owens one with more meaning. What are you doing? Like, you blew it. Like, how does... I don't know. I don't get it. Like, you have so much young talent on your roster that you're not even regulating them to mid-card. Sometimes they just come on TV, boom, the commercial's over. They don't even get their entrance. Like, come on. Like, you're like low card or not even on the show. Like, how does that happen when you're that talented? And then they turn around and go, well, you know, they don't go for the brass ring or whatever. Dude, you don't even give them the opportunity. I thought you're supposed to preach opportunity. The only thing you're guaranteed is opportunity. That's what they used to say back when the Monday Night Wars. The only thing you're guaranteed is opportunity. Now the only thing you're guaranteed is burial. Unless that's the only thing you're guaranteed now. Like, come on. It's true. How are you going to sit there and not give them nothing? Nothing. I don't understand. Like, how do you not use these people? You have so much talent. Like, they're finally doing it with the divas. Why aren't they doing it for the guys? Like, are they that far out of it that they think they are? Well, we brought them up to the main roster. Okay, and you're doing what with them? And see, if I was them, whoever was a wrestling company, I wouldn't try to compete with Raw. Compete with SmackDown. You can beat SmackDown. Well, actually, you could probably beat Raw, too. But if you're going to do it, first, SmackDown. Stone Cold, The Rock, and DX. They don't really mention anybody else in the Attitude Era. Especially Mick Foley. He gets slighted. Shit. The Undertaker will get like an honorable mention. But Mick Foley gets nothing. Like, WWE wasn't shit till they turned Hogan and put the NWO together. The one thing I'll say in Triple H's defense, I think regardless of what he was doing with Stephanie McMahon, he would have got his push. Because the momentum was showing that even before he started doing stuff with her, that he was starting to get bigger and bigger. Now, would he have won the title 13 times? I don't know. But I think, like, when people say, oh, he wouldn't have even got there. No, I think he would have still been a main event guy without that. I'll say that in his defense. But it definitely didn't hurt him. We'll just say that. He can never divorce her. I don't care what she does to him. He cannot. I don't care. He cannot leave that lady. His job is done if he ever left that lady. Or if she leaves him. Unless she did something really messed up. That would be the only way that he would be able to keep in WWE. The only way. She would have to do something really bad to the point where public opinion was on his side. Then they would have no choice but to keep him around. Cheating on him? I don't think she would. But I'm just saying, like, something like that would be what would have to happen in order for him to be able to accept divorcing her and keep his job. Like, she would have to do something really messed up, like beat him up or something. I don't know, something crazy. Like, try to kill him. Like it would have to be that bad in order for him to be able to leave her and still keep his job. Wouldn't it be funny? And they have no idea who he is. Or on an airplane. Like, hey, what's up? Hey, what's your name? Oh, I'm Phil. Because he'd probably just say his real name. If they don't know who he is, would he introduce himself as his real name?
Creature Feature. A bone-chilling podcast of depraved horror. Creature Feature. If you suffer from a heart condition, avoid Creature Feature. Chunky Larry plunges new depths of terror in Creature Feature. Listen if you dare. Available on Stitcher, iTunes, and Feedburner. And geeksoftheindustry.com.
Movies need only 3 things. Badasses.
You tell me who you want done, and I'll do the hell out of it.
A chick with drive who don't take no jive.
Boobs.
Do you know that the female breast known to be the source of life since Eve, can be deadly weapons.
And body counts.
Body count. The mathematics of murder and menace.
The BB&BC podcast discusses lesser-known action, exploitation, and horror cult cinema. You can find the show on iTunes, Stitcher Smart Radio, and SoundCloud by searching for BB&BC Podcast. You can also listen to each episode directly on the show's website at badassesboobsandbodycounts.com.
Got the goddamn message? Let's go to work. Wrestling suit, motherfucker.
Wrestling suit, motherfucker.
It's wrestling suit, motherfucker. Pay attention. Wrestling suit, motherfucker.
Wrestling suit, motherfucker.
Like, this shit sucks, but I know it's good for me, you know.
Motherfuckers. You kept on caressing Triple H's cock.
There's only two kinds of men. Ones that have raped and ones that haven't raped yet.
Yeah. Candy had to go bust flip.
WrestlingSuit.com.
All right, we are back. Hope everyone enjoyed that segment of Ask Joe. Man, Joe is hilarious, and he has a lot of opinions on wrestling. And some of them are kind of far out there, but they're valid. Like, when you start thinking about what he says, it actually kind of makes sense. Most of the time, I would say it definitely makes sense. Like, I'm just like, okay, he actually did put thought into this. So, once again, please tweet Ask Joe OTN. And, yeah, let's get our review started up. Tyler, do you got one?
Yes, I do. Undertaker, WrestleMania 8. Undertaker. So, last week I started off this new series. I'm going to review Undertaker's WrestleMania match each week and grade them on a 0 to 60 scale. With 6 different categories, 0 through 10. This week, Undertaker versus Jake the Snake Roberts at WrestleMania 8. And let's see. So, started off a little bit better than last time. The ring was a little bit farther away from where the wrestlers came out, so the Undertaker actually had a little more time to get to the ring and make his entrance a little more, Undertaker-esque. So he still didn't really score very high on my entrance category. I gave it a 4 out of 10. So nothing special. He came to the ring. He walked slow. It was the Undertaker. His costume this time was he's still in the old Undertaker outfit with the gray gloves and the gray boots or whatever you want to call them. So I'm a fan of all his different attires. So I don't really have a grade for that, but for the match itself, definitely better than WrestleMania 7 versus Jimmy Snuka. They actually told a story, a little bit of a story in the match this time around. It wasn't just a squash match. Well, essentially it was still a squash match, but at least they told a little bit of a story. So basically, Undertaker, he's still in the phase of he's indestructible. He basically no-sold everything. And Jimmy Snuka, threw him out of the ring. Undertaker just lands on his feet. He didn't really get knocked down any during the match. Undertaker did his classic flying clothesline. Basically nothing special up until that point. There was some really bad jokes on commentary. Some really bad jokes.
Who was on commentary on this one?
It was Bobby the Brain Heenan and what's his name? It wasn't Vince. Vince still isn't on commentary yet. Man, what was his name? Who was on commentary back in the day? I forget.
I'm trying to think. I honestly could not tell you just from memory, which is kind of sad.
Anyway, yeah, it was Bobby the Brain Heenan and someone else, and I gave the announcing a 3 out of 10. Bad jokes, nothing special really. Didn't really.
To be fair, this is definitely the era where it's not great. You know what I'm saying? Like the commentary was never really that good. And we all kind of forget that because, a lot of us got spoiled with JR. And a lot of us got spoiled with the King. King might not be the best on commentary, but he was perfect with JR. And we got spoiled with that. So...
I'm trying to remember who the fuck. I don't know. It doesn't even matter. But yeah, commentary wasn't great. Gave that a 3 out of 10. So Jake the Snake finally gets around to he gets his DDT in on the Undertaker, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really know what was going on in this time frame. But just my guesstimation is that the DDT was still a very protected move.
It was. Whenever Jake the Snake was like wrestling, especially this is, I want to say what, like 93, 94?
Yeah.
Somewhere in that time frame, maybe even 92. This was still a protected move.
So
where if you see it now, you're just kind of like, oh, whatever.
Oh, Gorilla Monsoon. Okay, I just remembered. It was Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby Brain Heenan. For some reason, Gorilla was coming to my head, but I couldn't remember his last name. Anyway, so he hits the DDT on Undertaker. Undertaker just sits right up. I'm like, okay, that's Undertaker. And then later on, he hits the DDT again. And I'm like, oh, I got a little excited for that. I'm like, okay, what's going to happen? Undertaker just sits right back up again. I'm like, oh, damn, they're really pushing Undertaker if they're letting him just no-sell the DDT finisher twice in a row like that. And then Jake the Snake sort of went after Paul Bearer a little bit. And then he hit a third DDT. And Undertaker didn't directly sit up, but he laid down for, it might have been a minute or two while Jake the Snake was going after Paul Bearer. But then Undertaker sat up again. So I'm like, damn, they're really pushing Undertaker as this like unstoppable force if they let him kick out of, or just sit right up from 3 DDT finishers.
Right.
And then one of the interesting things that commentary said was Tombstone City. He took Jake the Snake Roberts to Tombstone City.
That's funny. But the thing, though, the difference is like the Suplex City that we have all grown accustomed to.
Yeah.
Was more of like an off-the-cuff remark that the mics happened to pick up from Brock at WrestleMania. Where Tombstone City is the commentators trying to come up with something.
Yeah. I just thought that was interesting that was sort of a way to say that back in fucking 20 years ago or however long ago this was. But Undertaker tombstones him. He does his classic Undertaker style pin. And that's the match. So I gave the crowd a 5, entrance 4. Overall match was a 5. Special moments in the match, I gave a 6. Undertaker Factor, I gave a 5. Announcing, I gave a 3 for an overall of 28 out of 60. So much better than last week, which I gave a 13 out of 60. So we'll see how that goes. I don't think the next couple weeks are going to be very good. We got Giant Gonzalez and King Kong Bundy coming up. So yeah, so Jake the Snake Roberts might be on top for a few more weeks. What did you review?
I watched this show. It was on the Beyond the Ring, one of those like documentaries that they have. It was called Spectacular Legacy of the AWA. And this was really interesting to me. I really love just history of wrestling. You know, and like this one goes all the way back to like the 50s. You know, like they're talking about like Buddy Rogers, Luthez. And it was just really, really good. But basically what it was at one point there was the NWA. And they pretty much had, you know, the whole world. Or not the whole world, I mean the whole nation, right? And they did that so it's many different promotions, and that way there is one world champion. That was the idea of it. Well, at one point, Vern Gagne, he was against Buddy Rogers, I want to say, for the title. And I can't remember if it was 2 or 3 times, but each time he lost. And Vern Gagne is from Chicago. And the whole reason why it didn't happen was because I guess the promoter in Chicago, the guy that was running the NWA, was kind of scared. And, you know, so he didn't get it. So Vern Gagne went out and he pretty much picked up a wrestling promotion based out of Minneapolis. And then from there, he pretty much made himself the world champion. So now there's 2 world champions. And so that was really cool. Like, he just sort of was like, okay, NWA, you're your own thing. And the AWA was televised, like, you know, regionally. It wasn't national yet. Because this is, like, you know, like the 60s. But, yeah, so, like, that was really cool. And there's so many people that went through AWA, it's ridiculous. You know, it's like guys like Dusty Rhodes went through there. I want to say Lex Luger went through there. Ric Flair went through there. You know, it's like pretty much just like a who's who of wrestling royalty now. All went through this company.
Yeah.
And you hear just more about the backstory, you know, and how much money they were making. And then Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan was fired by McMahon Sr. from the WWF. He gets fired, so he goes to the AWA. He becomes huge. Right? Like, that was like right around the time of the Rocky movie. So, AWA was just massive at that point. You know, just cash flowing everywhere. Everyone's happy. And then Hulk Hogan leaves to go to the WWF. And that was pretty much the downfall of the AWA. You know, like, Mean Gene Okerlund was with the AWA, and Hogan went to WWF, Okerlund went to WWF around the same time. Sooner or later, the Rockers, Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty, they were stuck in a contract with AWA. If that wasn't the case, they probably would have been in the WWF probably like, I would probably say like maybe a year or 2 sooner.
Yeah.
You know, so, but yeah, it was pretty much the rise and fall of the AWA. It was an amazing documentary. And if there's one thing that WWE does, is make good documentaries.
They do.
You know?
There's a lot of them that I thoroughly enjoy. Let's see. Another thing I reviewed. Quick hits. If you ever just want to look at something interesting real fast, they got the quick hits on the network. Most videos are, you know, under 5 minutes ish. The one I watched this week was titled "If You Only Knew." So this was basically, the whole thing was a music video, where set in the early 90s, late 80s, not exactly sure, but it was very old, and it's basically all the wrestlers just taking turns singing the song called "If You Only Knew," and it was fucking hilarious. Like, if you can maybe play the song here for our listeners, but if you have the time, look this video up. It's horribly bad, and it's worth 3 minutes of your time to look at. You got all the classics singing. So you got Ted DiBiase, Jimmy Hart, Bobby Heenan, Randy Savage, and Elizabeth. Virgil makes an appearance. Hulk Hogan has a huge part, obviously. So they all put on their best singing voice, and they sing this song. And yeah, it's pretty hilarious. Give it a watch.
Yeah, and I'll be playing the music in this show because, oh, yeah, I feel bad for you guys. Oh, I feel bad for you guys. But yeah, I'll definitely be playing that music in here because why not, right?
Chatter. That really doesn't matter to me. A lot of you guys want to see me in agony. But the measure of a man, understand, is more than your common pattern.
It's the way I'll make you eat those words that matter.
If you only knew what I'm gonna do to you, you'd be running out of here as fast as 2 feet could carry you. Your destiny belongs to me. If you only knew.
I got some real bad news.
And it may involve your body.
You've been talking too much, too long, too loud. But you ain't scaring nobody. You see, talk is cheap when you can't keep your promise of destruction. I think you'll see, because of me, you'll need reconstruction.
If you only knew what I'm gonna do to you, you'll be running out of here fast as 2 feet could carry you. Your destiny belongs to me. Whoa, if you only knew. Please realize.
Look in my eyes. You'll be on your back. Out flat. Hit by a Cadillac.
If you only knew.
Hey, dude, you ain't got enough money to buy me out. Yeah, everybody's got a price. Oh, I'd like to bust you up real bad. Yeah, see Virgil.
If you only knew what I'm gonna do to you, you'd be running out of here as fast as 2 feet could carry you. Your destiny belongs to me. If you only knew what I'm gonna do to you, you'd be running out of here as fast as 2 feet could carry you. Your destiny belongs to me. If you only knew what I'm gonna do to you, you'd be running out of here as fast as 2 feet could carry you. Your destiny belongs to me. If you only knew what I'm gonna do to you.
So, do you think it's time for a Brie mode?
Yeah, let's get down to some Brie mode. Let's have some fun. Total Divas.
Total Divas.
Holy shit. Just holy shit.
This week definitely picked it up from last week. Last week I felt was just a complete waste of time. This week there was definitely some funny stuff going on. And I enjoyed this week. Did you get a chance to watch it?
I did.
Now, here's a couple reasons why I think this week was better. First of all, we had a lot more Daniel Bryan, which he makes Nikki and Brie much more bearable when he's talking trash with them. And another thing was we had a lot less Eva Marie, which I
don't think I saw her.
She was there for like 2 seconds, but she was pretty much non-existent in this episode, I think. And I gotta say, I like the no Eva Marie episodes. She's just very fake. I don't like her storyline, her whole crying, like the whole thing about her getting abused, like people thinking she's getting abused, like it made no sense really. You just need to say I'm a wrestler, you know. Why is she's got to turn everything into a fucking drama? That's right. I don't know, but my favorite part of this episode for sure was Natalya and Tyson's segments. So basically, what happened was Natalya has been talking shit and lying. Not really talking shit, but lying to Tyson and her family, left and right. And so the whole episode, she's just getting caught lying to, her mom, lying to Tyson. Tyson is really getting fed up with her. And I would not be surprised. I don't know how much of this is story, how much of it is not. I gotta believe, based on his reaction, that some of this is not story. Some of this is real.
I was about to say that. I really get the feeling that Total Divas, at least for Natty, I think that stuff is a little less scripted. I think they just tell them, okay, we kind of want you to do this and this and this.
Yeah.
But with Natty, I think they don't really even have to tell her to do stuff anymore.
Yeah, they don't. She's fucking spot. So basically, let's see, line number 1. She told Tyson that the repairs to her house were going to be, their new house they were moving into, were going to be $4,000. When in reality, she knew that the contractor said it's going to be between 12 and 15 grand. So I don't know what she was thinking, telling him it was only 4. I guess she said she didn't want him to stress out, but that's just going to make him stress out even more when he realizes what the actual price is.
Dude, if that was me, I would be flipping out.
Yeah. So that was lie 1. Lie 2 to her mom was she had her dad break this lion statue that they have, that her mom got, and she hates it. So while they're moving to the new house, she tells her dad, "Hey, break it for me," or whatever. Mm-hmm. And her dad just lying, "Oh, it was an accident," blah blah blah.
Well, the way how they set that up was amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you just see her dad carrying this ceramic lion head, and then like the way how the camera cut and stuff, like you just see it, like you hear the crash.
At first, the way they edited it looked like it really was an accident.
Kudos to those guys. Like, they did a good job at that.
Yeah. And then later on, they give you the special cut where you see he just fucking slams it down until
She's like, break that thing!
To make sure it wasn't salvageable. She made some other lies. Oh yeah, she lied about her sister coming to live with them. She told Tyson she was just gonna stay for like the weekend, and in reality, she's gonna be living there permanently. Like, how many days before that lie gets discovered? You know, like, why would you lie about that?
Right.
Can't cover that up. Honey, your sister's still here after 3 months. What's
just 4 more days, Tyson? 4 more days, CJ. 4 more days.
4 more days. Did she think that he's just gonna be away from their house so often? Like, she's just here on the weekends, but in reality, she's there 24/7. I don't know what her plan was, but basically at the end of the episode, and it's funny because Nikki and Bree were the ones that convinced her that she needs to fess up to this stuff, and I'm like, Nikki and Bree actually with some fucking knowledgeable advice for once.
Yeah, because they're like TJ's not the problem in this scenario. She was trying to make it sound like she's like, I just feel so distant from TJ. It's like, that's because you're lying.
And then she cuts away, and then the cut to just her, off camera or whatever, is like, they should be on my side. They're my friends, like.
Right.
But at the end, she gets her family together and confesses all these lies, and there's like so many, just one after another. She's like, we broke the lion, my sister's living here, blah blah blah. But the best part was she told Tyson, I lied about, I guess she lied about some magazine wanting to take some photos of their cats or something, and I guess she told the WWE this, and I don't know all the details, but he was so fucking pissed. He said, like, with all the other lies, he was like, yeah, you should have just told me, right? But this one, he was like, we'll talk about this later. Like, he was super fucking pissed about the cat lie.
He was, but I will say this for him. I'm not sure if you noticed this. His face, every time she said something that was a lie, his face, you could just tell, was getting more and more pissed off.
Yeah.
And then I think, like, the cat thing, like, that was, the last thing. That was the last thing that she said, and that's probably why he said it that way. But
I just think they're made for each other because of their love for the cats, because I genuinely feel like he was most concerned about the cat lie. Like, oh, an extra 20 grand to fix her house? Whatever, you should have just told me. I have to put up with your sister 24/7 for forever because she's going to be living with us? Whatever, should have told me. You lied about our cats? We're going to have a serious talk about this.
Right. She's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? And, like, it's like that weird crazy because it comes out of nowhere a lot of times.
And this isn't a one-off thing. Like, every fucking week, she's doing something to piss this guy off.
And then it's his fault. Every week, it's his fault.
Yeah. Back when they were having their marriage troubles, like, what? It didn't make any sense. Like, how are they doing so good now as a couple when back then they were arguing, And then she's doing all this shit now.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. I think it was more storyline back then when they were sort of, like, having those issues. But now, you see the non-storyline shit, and he really loves her, so he's going to put up with her shit. But he's going to hit a breaking point eventually if she keeps this stuff up.
Oh, yeah. And it's going to be amazing. Yeah, like, I just can't wait. Like, I hope that gets filmed. I really do.
Well, I'm curious to see where they go with these injuries, because they started to talk about Daniel Bryan's injury in this episode, and I'm sure they're catching up to the current time frame now, so pretty fast. So Tyson should be getting injured on the show any day now. So I want to see how that all plays out.
Yeah, I would say that Total Divas is going to be nothing more than probably always like about a month to 2 months behind.
Yeah.
At all times. And also, I'm not sure if you noticed this. This is something I've been noticing on more and more episodes. So, with Total Divas, like, they're making like, in WWE right now, they're making a big deal about, like, Diva Revolution or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if you noticed this. Whenever they show you matches, it's all stuff from, like, Main Event or Superstars.
Yeah.
Like, it's not... I'm trying to think. Like, it's not, like, stuff on Raw. And when it is stuff on Raw, it's, like, a quick thing, but you'll see, like, a full move or two, like, from Main Event. And I'm just like, oh, you're showing these girls, like, wrestle to a half-filled auditorium. Oh. Like, I don't know, like, I feel like it's sort of like their, like, backhand slap, just kind of like Kevin Dunn going, look, we're giving you this chance, but we're still gonna, like, try to bury you on Total Divas, even though this whole show's about you, but your in-ring stuff is all going to be, like, B-roll footage. Even though, like, all of them are on the main, like, the main roster and they're all on Raw. It's just a weird thing that I've noticed.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you have as well.
Yeah, sort of. I mean, I haven't paid too much attention to Raw, and I mainly just get to listen to it in the background, and then I'll go back and rewatch some of the better moments.
Right.
But they have been, just let it be a revolution. Why they don't need to say Divas Revolution every 30 seconds,
Right. Oh, I agree with that too.
Yeah. Speaking of the revolution, though, Bailey and Lynch, NXT.
Wow, that was a great fight.
Yeah, I don't think it was as great as some of the others, but
I agree.
Compared to, like, some of the shit we see on Raw, it was, above and beyond still. For an NXT women's match, it wasn't, like, the best, but it was definitely, still very good.
Right. Yeah, like I thought it was still a damn good match, because overall NXT this week I was just kind of like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was not a lot that was keeping my attention.
Yeah.
On NXT.
Yeah, we can
Like,
run through it real fast if you want.
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright, so started out with the announcement that Balor versus Owens at TakeOver will be a ladder match, which I'm excited for. Should be a great match. It sucks that we already know who the winner is going to be, but it should be a good match nonetheless. Then we go to Solomon Crowe versus Ty Dillinger, and I haven't seen Ty Dillinger really on NXT television, maybe in a tag match or something here and there, but is he really over? Like, I guess he's been in a lot of dark matches, because there was a lot of crowd participation for him and his gimmick, the Perfect 10, with the signs and the chants and all that jazz.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like he's probably on the verge of getting over.
I can't tell if they're generally excited for him or if they're just sort of playing along because they think his gimmick's stupid or what. Like, I can't really tell yet.
Right. And it is a very, smarky audience that they have.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know.
But he beat Solomon Crowe, which, I want to see Solomon Crowe go somewhere, but he's not really doing anything right now.
I really want to see Solomon Crowe make it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's like one of those guys that I see him and I like him. I don't know why. He hasn't really given me many reasons on NXT for me to be like, I like this guy.
Yeah.
But I like him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a good wrestler. He's fun to watch.
Yeah, there's just something about him that, like, there's a lot that I don't like about his character. But then at the same time, there's like, oh man, I see so much potential in this guy.
I think that's what it is, and he has that energy
Yeah.
behind him, and you don't necessarily see that kind of energy unless it's forced energy, like Mojo Rawley. You know what I'm saying? Like Solomon Crow, has like a legit presence there, and they just need to figure out what to do with him.
Yeah. We'll see what happens with him. It was sort of sad to see him lose to Ty Dillinger, though. Hype Bros had a promo, just a little quick funny skit, where Zack Ryder's like trying to get Mojo to calm down. I guess he's nonstop texting him or whatever. I don't know. You have to see it. It's a quick little promo, nothing special. Then
Thank God that was quick.
I don't know. I like the Hype Bros so far. You don't like them?
No, I can't get behind their gimmick. I'm not a big Mojo Rawley fan. I don't know, there's just something about the guy that I just see and I'm like, I get why you're here. Like, it makes sense why you're, in this promotion and why you're on TV. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm like, you're not really selling much to me.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's more aimed at younger kids. As in kids. Maybe that's just how I see him because I don't like him.
Yeah.
And I'm missing something about it. But yeah, I don't know. He's one of those guys. I was like, that's cool.
After that, the Baron Corbin train has gone full circle now. He went from getting cheered, people enjoying his quick little matches, seeing him destroy people, to people not giving a shit and not counting, not even paying attention to the match, just using it as a piss break, to now they're actively booing him because they're tired of seeing his boring matches. There were boring chants, and it was just another quick little squash match. Another wrestler came down, tried to do something. He got hit with the End of Days as well. And then Samoa Joe came out. And so I guess we're going to see Samoa Joe versus Baron Corbin at TakeOver. What do you think about that?
I want to thank WWE and NXT for giving me a chance to maybe go outside, grab a cigarette, go to the bathroom, come back, and catch a pinfall.
Yeah, because unlike WWE, the main roster, we don't have the Divas match for a piss break. So
right.
So I guess Baron Corbin takes that spot?
Yeah, and throw Samoa Joe in there. That's like two birds in one stone in my eyes.
So hashtag Baron the piss break Corbin. And then, so I highly doubt Joe's gonna win this match. They're pushing Baron Corbin so much. No one has pinned him except Neville, and that was due to interference. So expect Baron Corbin to win this match again. I'll be very surprised if Samoa Joe wins. Then we had a Tyler Breeze promo. Then we had Finn Balor versus Marcus Louis. And every time I see Marcus Louis, I'm like, what the fuck are they doing with this guy? The guy has no entrance music. He comes out acting all fucking crazy, like his jaw's stuck open or something. I don't fucking know, but the guy's gimmick is so weird.
It is weird, but I kind of like it. This is weird because I was just bitching about Mojo Rawley.
Yeah.
Rawley. I understand the weird paradox that I am in, but no, I kind of like it because I see that character as it's a shitty character. I get it, but I see it and I see potential there.
Give the guy fucking entrance music at least. Take 10 seconds to Google some crazy sounding music. It's fucking 5 seconds. Download it. Put it up. Come on.
Jim Johnson was busy the week he got hired. They're like, buddy, no music for you, but I don't care, none.
At least for the other guys that they don't have entrance music for, they just start the match off with them already in the ring. You know what I mean?
Right.
squash matches. But no, they have to show him coming out to no entrance music, acting all crazy. So, I don't know. So obviously Finn Balor beats him. Then we get some Kevin Owens interference. And then, Uha Nation, I believe his name was?
Yeah.
I guess his new name is going to be Apollo Crews. What do you think about that?
Cool. That's actually kind of cool. And Terry Crews, the great actor.
Yeah.
He actually like tweeted something about that. He was just like, yeah, like, you know, like, take care of that name.
Yeah, I don't have any issues with the name. I think if you're gonna pick a new name, I think they did a pretty good job. Could definitely be worse, like Marcus Louis, which is a spectacular name. But
I mean, it is better than calling yourself Ugaha Nation.
So okay, so if you have this guy acting all crazy, you couldn't be like his name is the Demon or something like that from Death Valley or some fucking place like that. No, his name is Marcus Louis from France, and he's just crazy for no reason. Like, I don't fucking know. But then we had Bayley versus Becky Lynch, and one thing I'd like to note is that Sasha Banks was on commentary.
Yes.
I don't think she did the best job.
I have to agree. But I think here's the reason for that, is if she's on commentary on Raw,
yeah,
she kind of blends in with that. You know what I'm saying? Like commentary on Raw is very, how can I say this, mediocre.
Yeah.
You know, like, it has its moments, but it's a very mediocre commentary team at this moment. Mm-hmm. You know, like, you'll get Cole saying something stupid, and then you'll get JBL trying to disagree with him, but he'll end up agreeing with him 20 minutes later. You know, just stuff like that. But NXT's commentary team is actually not horrible.
Yeah, they're Corey Graves takes it too far sometimes. Like, he'll get on the side of the heel and just be like, yeah, this guy's amazing, and like really push it way too far, but
which is good, because it pushes Byron Saxton to get out of his little hole of Byron Saxton.
Yeah, true. Commentary is definitely much better on NXT than the main roster. I have to
Which that's also weird. Think about that. Byron Saxton is on NXT, and he's on, what's it called? And Raw, every now and then.
Yeah. Yeah, he's on Raw weekly now that Booker T's out. But I have to agree. There's something about him playing a bigger part. He's actually able to say more instead of on Raw. He's just usually just pretty quiet. And when he does say something, he just immediately gets shit on by JBL. So he can't really defend himself too much. But I forget who it was, but there was some people complaining that I guess Charlotte and Becky Lynch were on commentary on Raw or something. I didn't really pay too much attention to that, but they didn't really do the best job, and they were saying NXT doesn't really prepare the women for that. So, and then I found it interesting that the very next week we had Sasha Banks on commentary on NXT. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see more of that in the future. It gives them some experience with commentary, because on Raw they're more worried about stuff like that than actually putting on a good match. So hopefully some of these wrestlers, the women and the men, get a little bit more experience on the commentary, so when they do get on there, they don't fucking just, stink it up. But the Bayley versus Lynch, though, was a good match. So even with the commentary by
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like really, I did enjoy this match. I think a huge part of it is they do sell it.
Yeah.
Becky Lynch's entrance has definitely grown into a spectacle. Almost like a Finn Balor type entrance without the dramatics.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like she comes down and she makes it kind of special.
That's one thing that NXT is getting right is the entrances. They're really taking it up a notch because if you look at the main roster, I can't even think of anyone that has much besides, the entrance comes on and then they come to the ring. Whereas all these NXT wrestlers, they got the fog, they got the special way they come to the ring and, the special attire. So they're really stepping it up a notch. And I do love the theatrics of it because I don't know about you, but I find myself like if I'm fast forwarding through NXT and I miss an entrance, I'm like, oh man, I want to see that. Like, so I'll rewind it a second so I could see that Becky Lynch or that Enzo or the Finn Balor entrance. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I would never do that for anyone on fucking Raw. I don't think anyone really has that entrance that is like, oh man, I got to see that. Yeah, I can't think of Undertaker, obviously, but he's never fucking around anymore. But we could see him at SummerSlam. But Becky Lynch versus Bayley was a very technical match, so maybe that's why I wasn't not as impressed. It was more of a technical thing than a heartfelt brutal match like some of the past ones were.
Yeah, that's like one of the weird things with Becky Lynch is she'll go either like complete brutal or she'll go very technical. And this one was, I would say, more on the side of technical.
Yeah.
Which I really enjoy watching those kind of matches. Because to me, like seeing like a technical type match, it shows me what you're capable of. You know what I'm saying? And if you have a range of, just the brutality, and then you have a range of, okay, let's grapple for a while. I'm a huge fan of watching that.
They are very fun to watch. You just don't get as emotionally invested.
Right. Well, actually, this one I was kind of excited. I mean, I'm probably not as excited as I could have been for like other matches, but I mean, for like this card on NXT tonight or the other night, yeah, definitely. Like, I was invested in it. Like, it sold me.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it had to do with Bayley.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see Bayley get her push. She's going to get the title, hopefully. I'd be very surprised if she didn't. So, finally get to see her. I mean, but she is one of those people that are better chasing the title than being the champion, if you know what I mean.
I see what you're saying, but I would like to see Bayley as a champion.
And that's what makes it so good, seeing her go after the championship. You want her to be champion so bad, but when she actually has it, you're like, okay, now what?
Well, I think when she gets it, it's going to be something special.
Yeah.
I think it'll be good.
Yeah, it'll definitely be. Probably, it might even get match of the night. I don't know. It'd be pretty hard to top Balor versus Owens in a ladder match, but if anyone could do it, it'd be them two.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think I have like a lot of high hopes for that Sasha Bayley match, but I kind of have to agree with you. I'm more excited about the Balor Owens match because this is something I kind of found interesting. With NXT, the champion just kind of doesn't show up much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like remember when Neville had it?
Yeah.
He was there all the fucking time. He was in matches like all the time. He wasn't always defending his belt, but he was definitely there often in a match.
Yeah.
And then Sami Zayn, he was there when he was healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was doing stuff. Kevin Owens, that's where it started to slide off because they, bumped him up. So, like, with Owens, he just he was there, but not too often. And then Balor gets it, and he's never there.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's like, the one guy that should be there all the time, but he's there for, like, house shows. So, like, I can't be like, oh, well, he's just a part-time guy.
Yeah.
It's just, they're not showing him on TV in a match. Which is weird.
Yeah. I mean, part of me, and because of what you're saying about the whole part-time thing, part of me is like, well, maybe they can put the belt back on Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Because he would just need to go, because they tape 4 weeks in one night, don't they? Or something like that?
Yeah, it's like 3 or 4 weeks, yeah.
He just needs to show up for one night for a month of tapings, and he's good. Then he can go back to Raw. And that brings back his, prestige a little bit, because I don't think he's won a match on the main roster since he beat John Cena however fucking many weeks ago, if not months.
Right.
And he was set to be like this such badass guy. He comes out, wins his debut match against John Cena, hasn't won shit since.
Did you hear about? I'm not sure if you caught this, but in Raw, I guess Randy Orton made a fat comment.
Yeah, I heard that, and I was like, is this fucking 1990 or something? Why are you talking about the guy's weight? Like,
well, I'll tell you why.
Because the fucking writers, Kevin Dunn, probably?
Yep, it was Kevin Dunn. Rumors instantly came out. Like, this is all dirt sheet internet shit, but I like to think that for everything that comes out, there's some sort of truth to it. It might be exaggerated to the extreme, where it could have just been like Kevin Dunn being like, yeah, call him a fat ass. And they just took it as, oh, he's burying the guy. But, just like that kind of stuff just pops up. I'm thinking there might be some sort of truth to it. And Kevin Dunn, I would not put it past the guy to do that kind of thing. Just saying.
Yeah.
Oh, Kevin Dunn.
It's so hard because I'm facing a personal dilemma. It's, do I want Kevin Owens to get the push he deserves, or Cesaro? Because there's not enough room at the top of the mountain for both of them, and they both deserve it. So
honestly, Cesaro.
Probably. The guy, he's been around a little bit longer, at least on the main roster, and he's just as good as Kevin Owens, I think, wrestling-wise. He's very entertaining to watch.
Exactly. And Kevin Owens, he's really good. I want to make sure I make this clear. I'm not taking anything away when I say this. Kevin Owens is kind of limited in his move base. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know, yes or no. I've been every time I'm on the internet, I see a new link showing some random fucking thing he did back in the day. So
well, when I say like limited in his move base, I mean his WWE move base. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they let like guys do only certain moves, and certain guys get a bigger catalog of moves that they could pull out. It's that the house shows that you'll see them pull their whole like Rolodeck of moves and just be like, yeah, let's do this. But like when it's on TV, you only get certain moves, you know what I'm saying? Like, things are a little more protected.
Yeah. Cesaro's move base overall is very impressive compared to the average person. Like, you get your Dean Ambrose, where all his moves look so fucking weak in comparison to what Cesaro does. So, the only move I really don't like is the spin, but you gotta do the spin for the crowd, but...
It's a cheesy move, yes, but it's effective. It does two things. It it does, it pumps up the crowd. Even when he was heel, the crowd was into it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a move that it's going to pump up the crowd. But on top of that, it's showing that the guy is relatively strong. You know, when he's picking up like, you know, guys that are bigger than him, and then he's spinning them around in a circle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, yeah, they might be holding onto his hand every now and then, but
yeah, Cesaro,
overall,
based on matches alone, I would be led to believe that Cesaro is the strongest man in the WWE right now. The guy fucking can lift anybody and do some crazy ass shit.
I have to agree.
I mean,
like,
I would think Brock Lesnar might be stronger, but it's hard to say because Cesaro is very deceptively strong.
Like, I feel like I've said this before, but I really want to see a Lesnar-Cesaro fight.
Yeah. I would too.
Just because it might get Lesnar out of the quote-unquote comfort zone.
And it might get him out of this whole, is he a babyface, is he a heel sort of deal. He would for sure be a heel if he went up against Cesaro.
Exactly. And not only that, but Lesnar does put people over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he will take bumps for guys. And Cesaro, he'll do the same. Like, remember that horrible springboard stunner?
Yeah.
That Cena did to Cesaro?
Yeah.
Cesaro sold that thing like it was nothing.
Do you see his fucking springboard move? Cesaro's?
I'm not sure if I caught it.
He does it all the time. So you've most likely seen it. He bounces off the mid rope, and then he spins and does like a flying uppercut.
Okay, yeah.
And he fucking hits that thing spot on every time. So it's got to be skill because John Cena misses that shit every week, and Cesaro hits his move every week. So.
Oh yeah.
And it seems like Cesaro's is a little trickier because he does like a full fucking spin when he does that. But we could definitely see if they can get the U.S. belt off of fucking John Cena once he's probably gonna win the championship, and then hopefully he drops the U.S. belt to like Cesaro or Owens, and then we get a good run of Cesaro versus Owens feud, which could be very entertaining. So we got that to look forward to, hopefully. But that's after we have to deal with John Cena with both fucking titles for who knows how long. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to SummerSlam. But I don't know. We'll see. It should be entertaining for the most part. I still don't know what they're going to do for 4 hours. Unless the Undertaker match consists of like a half-hour intro.
I'll expect that.
I have a feeling we're going to see old Undertaker, or not old Undertaker, we're going to see Biker Undertaker return.
Oh, God.
Because they did contact Fred Durst to see if he wanted to play the Biker Undertaker's entrance live.
Yep.
So
maybe they'll get Kid Rock.
Yeah, he'd probably fucking do it. I don't know. They'll get somebody to they'll do something to make it special. I don't know. Maybe they'll fucking just get an orchestra out there to play and sing or something, which would be pretty cool as well.
And this one's not outdoor, right? This is an indoor one.
Yeah, this is indoor, so it.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, the lighting kills it. You know, it
exactly
really makes or breaks it. So that shouldn't be an issue this time around.
But yeah. Oh, next week. You realize that we're going to be doing predictions for 2 events next week?
Yeah, TakeOver and
SummerSlam.
And I forgot to tell my wife about TakeOver, so she's not going to be happy about 2 pay-per-views in one weekend.
Should be like 8 hours. I hate.
Do you remember there was like a 3 or 4 week period where it was like every single week there was a pay-per-view?
Yep.
And so one week I was like, Thursday I got this pay-per-view, then Saturday we got this pay-per-view, Sunday we got this and I was just making shit up, but she didn't know the difference because, there was pay-per-view every week before that. So she was so fucking pissed. It was pretty hilarious. And then I finally told her I was just fucking with her, but she's not going to be happy when I tell her, yeah, there's a pay-per-view Saturday as well.
I almost wish that you could just record that whole conversation of, so, you remember that time I told you that there was that 4-hour SummerSlam pay-per-view? Well, there's another 2.5, 3-hour pay-per-view Saturday. Yeah, I know it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, basically, she's not going to be tagging along for that one. I think we're probably going to do it at your house this time around.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. But, yeah, anything else to talk about before we call it a day?
No, not really. You want to do some plugs?
Sure, go ahead.
Yep. And you can always search for us on SoundCloud as well, iTunes and Stitcher. We have a YouTube page up. We've been putting some random stuff up, like matches of the night. We actually put the first Ask Joe up before this episode was released, just to, get people sort of excited about it. And, yeah, I think that's it. Oh, and, I suggest you guys go check out Geeks of the Industry with Chunky Larry. If you guys, want more wrestling podcasts, definitely check out their show, Mega Powers Radio. It's always a good time. Face the Music with Joe and Amy. It's funny, I'll talk to Joe and he's like, he's looking for bands to get on there because his podcast really relies on having a guest every week. So that's always fun to talk about because he's like, I'm not sure if I could get anyone this week. And then he always gets someone that week. So that's just always a fun conversation to have with him. BB and BC podcast. I really enjoy this show. It's with Mike and Iris. And they just talk about cult movies. It's like badasses, boobs, and body counts. It's good stuff. Let's see, talking about with Glenn. And Wrestling Soup with Mish and Joey. I think that's all of them.
All right. Well, if that's it, have a good night.